Choice of cars these days. This is Preston Motor Park, Motor Village, whatever you'd like to call it. And as you can see there's Renault, Seat, Skoda, Audi, Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, all within walking distance of each other. Citroen are just a bit further up and on their own. And there's so many cars to choose from. Fiat, I think, were on there, but oh no, Fiat are up there, sorry. And Fiat are going to be getting a version of this vehicle too. I think it will be called the Topolino. And Opel have it. It's going to be, I would think, very, very popular. Talking to Mark at Just Citroen yesterday, goodness me, what a cock up. Talking to Mark at Just Citroen yesterday, they've had loads of inquiries on the Ami, so it is proving to be very popular. And I can understand why, as I've said in previous videos, I absolutely love it. I've had this for 2 months, coming up to 2 months. Normally I would use a Jaguar or a Range Rover, and I haven't been out in one. I've just used this constantly all the time. I've not been to a petrol station for 6-7 weeks. And the amount of money it saved me just going backwards and forwards to work, it's tremendous. However, of course, there is the slight problem with the door and the marks on the door, which I think or thought were stress marks, and there's a crack in the actual door itself. And it led me to, because I wasn't really getting anywhere resolving the problem, it led me to send a rejection letter, which is the last thing I want. But I had to cover myself. I don't want to be stuck with a car that's disintegrating. I don't think it is. It doesn't seem to have got any worse. I'm not sure. And I don't know whether it's the sunshine on the door and the door expanding, with it being bonded to the inner door, whether they're expanding at 2 different rates because it's cold inside. And I don't know what the cause is, but there is a problem. So I sent the rejection letter. The first reply I got, I'll just go over quickly. The first reply I got from Willis at the Ami team saying you can only reject it within 2 weeks. I don't think that is actually the case. I think perhaps he's misinformed, but I could be wrong. And Willis forwarded on to a different department. They responded to me. It took a week for Willis to respond, and then he forwarded it to another department. It took another week for them to respond to say that they were feeling the effects of COVID and that some of them were self-isolating, and it may take a while to get back to me. So yesterday I opened my emails and I got an email off one of the other members of the Ami team to say that I don't know what's going on here. I'm in an Ami, we're doing 23, and that person has just moved into the outside lane. For what reason, I'm not sure. I don't want to undertake, but I'm sure it's going to upset all the motorists behind us. Yeah, so anyway, they've just sent me a letter saying that they for me to send them the registration number of the vehicle, and they will start processing a rejection. I can't actually believe that nobody's phoned me up and said, get the car to the Citroen dealer, let them check it over, let's make sure it's not dangerous. But anyway, they've not. So the bad news is it's looking like it's going to go back, and I'm going to be ammyless, which actually makes me quite sad. So anyway, watch this space. Today I'm off to a motor show at Lytham Hall Park. I think it's a classic car and bike show. It's about 12 miles away. I had a reasonably full charge, and sorry, that's me not putting my foot on the brake properly. Also, for other people that are watching, I did keep getting a warning light on the dash, and it was when I was at traffic lights, and it was when I wasn't pressing my foot on the brake hard enough, so a warning light came on, just in case you're getting one. It's nothing to worry about. If you put your foot on the brake, the warning light goes off. I see other people, I noticed the other day in the forum that I run, somebody was complaining about, actually these cars are trying to get past, they're just nobody in the cycle lane. Just let them go. "50-mile-an-hour limit, I'm doing 28, but I was behind that learner and that learner was doing 24, so I was actually being held up." More cars for sale there. Yeah, if I put my foot flat down, you'll feel the car going backwards and forwards. And surging. Somebody said, "Is there any way you can get rid of that?" And another person replied, "Take out fuse 13. You don't need to take a fuse out. Why take a fuse out? It's there for a purpose. And just let your foot slightly off the accelerator, like I've done now. I'm still doing 28, but it's not surging, it's not trying to regen. No fuses out, just let a little pressure off the accelerator. It's fine." So I'm going to take you through, is quite a quaint little village on the way to Lytham, where I spent most of my childhood and went to school there and lived just round the corner from Lytham Hall Park. As with everything, when I was a school kid, Lytham Hall Park was just the grounds of the kind of stately home. And kids being kids, we used to climb over the wall and go exploring. And quite often the gamekeeper used to chase us out. I think he used to have as much fun as we did, really. But so it's a lovely place, and then life goes on. More and more people in England and the world, and more houses were built, and they sold off a lot of land, and it's now houses. And we moved there when I was a kid. My mum and dad moved there, and it's a nice part of the world. Lytham. There's Lytham, then there's Ansdell, then there's St Anne's. I started work as a draftsman when I was 15 because my mum and dad wanted me to have a proper job in case selling cars didn't work out, which I was already doing at weekends and during the holidays and so on. And look how well that turned out. I hated every minute of it. Perhaps if I hadn't, I'd be retired now and living in Italy. So this is a dual carriageway. It's 9:20, Sunday. Everybody else is in bed, so I'm not holding too much traffic up. And funnily enough, I'm sure that there you go, it's doing the Sambra again. That's me not putting my foot on the brake. The car not trying to hold on a slight hill. So yeah, when this road here, you'll see up there, there's speed cameras, average speed cameras now, and there's a speed camera further up. There's one of those electric mockers behind us. They've depreciated more than this car costs in about the last 3 months. So he'll be in a bad mood, don't want to upset him. This is Kirkham over there. There's a windmill over there. People live in. And, oh dear. So when I started work as a draftsman, one of my first jobs was Lytham Windmill. That had been decommissioned, all the running gear and the brake band had long since rotted away. And my first job was to go and measure up and have the gears made in our fab shop and a nice brake band, because of course when it's windy, and it gets windy at Lytham, it's right on the seafront, when it's windy the sails would just go like a propeller, so they have to have some means of stopping it, and we needed a brake band and the cogs to drive the millstones when the brake band was off and the sails were going round. So that was my claim to fame. That was probably 50 years ago, and hopefully that's still going, and probably will be still going when I'm 6 foot under. My short career as a draftsman, I did some good. Again, we're behind a tractor, so there's not just Citroen Amis that hold the traffic up, there's all sorts. I don't think I've got the speed to out-drag him, but I'm going to try. Right, here we go. Oh, the only thing is, he'll be behind me. Fortunately, I won't be creating much of a vacuum behind me. So, otherwise my battery will just go straight down. But there you go, you've seen it here. We've overtaken something in a Citroen Ami. We're coming up to the exit to Ray Green, and it is a lovely part of the country. This seatbelt, unfortunately, is just at the same height as my microphones, and they keep shoving it up here. Makes me look like I've got a hairy chest, but I haven't. Well, not that hairy. So we're going off here down the country lanes, off the dual carriageway. I should have actually made a note of the mileage and how much electric it's used. A couple of other things. I did buy the medium-sized mirror from N3D.IT. It's now behind the seat here. It was just a nightmare. I had to keep tightening it up, and every time you went over a bump it moved. Tighten it up again, and the next morning with the heat and cooling, it had come undone again and would just drop down. So I've opted for one of these that I got off Amazon, and it's not the big mirror, the medium-sized mirror. I could see a whole lot more. This is just one that sticks to the windscreen, and it's you can tell if anything's behind you, so it's perfect for that. And so far I've gone over a few bumps, it's not moved, and also with the 3D printing, that's plastic and you've got a steel rod to tighten up, and I'm sure it was just compressing the plastic, so it was virtually every day I was having to tighten it up, and you tightened it up so much it got to the point that it felt like it was going to crack. So I wouldn't get one of those if I were you, and I'd opt for like the conventional mirror, which I got off Amazon for 20 quid, and it came the next day. But you can even buy some OEM mirrors that say fit on vans, because of course a van has a screen like straight up, so it's going to be within the same adjustment range. And I think that's a lot better. And to be fair, I think it looks a lot nicer too. The N3D.IT mirror, it's just a frame at the back, and the actual mirror you get is another piece you can get off Amazon, which you can actually put over your mirror if you want a wider view. So if worst comes to worst, I can actually put that mirror on here and be back to the field of view I had before. Now this is Wray Green. I should have gone that way actually. This is a lovely village. They play cricket here on Sundays. There's the pitch. There is a lovely pub called the Grapes. And in my younger day, a guy called Bill Beaumont and Ian Botham, Bill Beaumont, England rugby captain, and Ian Botham, England cricket captain, both used to drink in there. It's a Boddington's pub. So good beer too. And there's the pond. The village green and the village pond. There's some thatched cottages around there. You can see up there, that's a thatched roof. Lovely place. I have some stories to tell round here, or from round here, but perhaps now's not the time or place. From me growing up. So anything else? Also, my sun blind. I undid it last night, and it wouldn't retract, so it was just hanging here, and it got stuck halfway in and halfway out. With a bit of manoeuvring, I did manage to get it to go back. But I thought I was going to end up driving with a veil over me. The car show starts at 10 o'clock. or gates open at 10 o'clock. I'm a little bit early, like I always am. But so far, again, would I have got here any faster in my F-Type? Probably. Would I have a bigger smile on my face coming down these country lanes? Probably. Do I have more money in my pocket now because I've come in the army? Definitely. I will be very sorry to see this go back. If indeed the start of the rejection process, they may very well send somebody to examine the car, and then say, in our opinion, it's fine, which would probably leave the onus on me to either perhaps take them to court, which I ain't got time, I don't want to. But the funny thing is that I don't want to reject it. And this all goes, you know, agency sales. I'm pretty sure that if I'd have bought the car from just Citroen rather than just having a handling fee for giving me a test drive and getting the car delivered there, I'm pretty sure that they would have been on the phone and trying to resolve it, trying to find out what the problem is. But Citroen and all the other manufacturers are bringing it on themselves with this. They want to move to the agency sales. In my opinion, it's a cash grab. They see an opportunity to restructure the dealer network and to keep the money themselves. With COVID and the garages basically cutting their own throat, which I did warn about. Once you get into a mindset of people buying stuff over the internet and you delivering it to them at the door, and then they've got at least a month to reject it, or if you haven't got the paperwork, if you've not done the proper paperwork, they've got 12 months to reject it. You know, I mean, it's a no-brainer that you've got more rights having the car delivered to your house than you have going to the dealership. So the dealers effectively shot themselves in the foot. A lot of subsidence around here, by the way. So the manufacturers through COVID have thought, well, you know, these mugs, we're sending them new cars, they're just selling them over the internet and making the 10% margin. At the time there probably was, because there was a shortage. There's a chip shortage as well, but now there's not, and you can get massive discounts off everything, especially EVs. EVs residuals are dropping like a stone at the moment, and soon petrol and diesels will, because it will get to a situation where EVs are a lot cheaper second hand than a petrol or diesel. So you're going to buy one. Not because you like it, not because you'd rather drive an EV, but because it's cheaper. And that's, in my opinion, most people are buying EVs because they think they're going to save money, not because they want to save the planet. It really is. If you're talking to somebody, the first words out of their mouth, if you say to them, but hang on, an EV costs more to run than a petrol or diesel, they'll go, oh no, it's cheap to charge. But it may be cheap to charge, but if it's depreciating every month by £2,000, which a lot of them are, you can buy a heck of a lot of petrol with that. I noticed last night a Nissan Leaf, 3 months old, £12,000 off. Now you can buy enough petrol with £12,000 to do 96,000 miles. And the car had only done 1,600 miles. That would cost you £221 in fuel to do 1,600 miles, 1,649 miles it done. So it's a no-brainer. If it depreciates by that much, you're £11,779 worse off than if you'd have got a petrol, because the petrol wouldn't have depreciated that much. So that's a no-brainer. As I say, this Ami's a no-brainer. This can depreciate by £9,000 and then it ain't going to depreciate anymore. And that's it. It's free then. And with the tax situation at the moment, the tax benefits, I'll get a healthy lump off my tax for buying it. And I'm probably saving, I would imagine, £50 or £60 a week in fuel, and that's just going to work. So this is going to pay for itself, and that's another reason why I don't want to reject it. I don't want to send it back. You know, if anybody from Citroen's watching this, work with me, resolve it, do something, negotiate, make me happy. I don't get it. Beer and Gin Festival. That sounds like happy days. Because when I was younger around here, we have some pubs around here. The Grapes is quite a long drive, so unless there was a designated driver, or you left your car there and got a taxi back, then you couldn't drink. And we used to have a Citroen, I think there's a Citroen BX at the garage, and at weekend I used to have a brand new company car. At weekend I used to come home in the Citroen BX, and I would go out in it and just leave it on a pub car park somewhere. I can't do that with this because it attracts too much attention. Everybody loves it. Wherever you go, they all love it. That's Green Drive Golf Club. And we're just coming up to, there you go, we're on Balham Road, and this is Lytham Hall Park, just on the right hand side. My 360 camera's overheated and gone off. My GoPros I've turned down to 4K from 5.3K, and at this moment in time, I look at all these beautiful cars coming in here. Now I don't know whether there's an actual car park. Classic Vehicle Show. This is it. Is there a car? Yeah, is there a car park here or not?
There is, it's down the bottom.
Right, so for just viewers?
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. What beautiful cars. Honestly, I might get beaten up here having an EV. Look at them. Oh gosh, I mean, it makes my heart ache. I look at those beautiful cars, and then I look at the cars today that look like they've just been made out of an Airfix kit. Oops, soz. What you can't tell from the cameras is the smell of fuel from behind these cars. Well, it's fuel and a bit of burning oil. So, pollution bars, save the planet, blah blah blah. but look how beautiful they are. But you know, that couple have just walked past these cars, and then they're smiling at this one. I'm on a private road now, aren't I? I can have a drink. The photographer at the gate there, you know, taking photographs of all these beautiful cars, and then he sees me and he's snapping away there. We've got 30 mile left of electricity in the battery, and the good thing is my sister still lives in Lytham, so worst comes to worst, I can always pop there. There's some blue smoke coming out of that vehicle in front. I hope it's not. Is it coming from the back there? A little dicky seat on the back there. Oh, crikey. I need my ticket.
That's a first for me.
What, the car?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely never ever even seen a picture. Sorry, I'm not going to scan it.
Cheers.
Never even seen a picture of one of them.
The,
My God, what's that?
It's a Citroen Ami. It's electric, has a top speed of 28 miles an hour, and a range of 45 miles.
Excellent.
It's.
What a kit.
Do you know it's brilliant? I have a Range Rover and an F-Type, and this is it's fantastic. It's for nothing.
I love it. I love it. I hope they give you a good spot.
Well, I'm just here to see them, not display.
Straight up, sir. Take it straight up.
Oh, oh, hang on. They've told me to display. They've told me to display. Oh no, I've come the wrong way. Nightmare. I need to go back. I do need to go back. This is a nightmare. 28 mile an hour. Oh dear, this is a nightmare. As you can see there, that's I need a Marshall. Beautiful cars, TVRs. That honestly, that smells like perfume to me. It just goes to show. Auto?
Is it automatic?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, I bet it's cheap on insurance, that, isn't it?
Actually, it's not that fantastic, but I have a trader's policy, and this I've insured privately. It's 480 quid, but that's with no claims, you know. But a lot of other people are getting it for about 200 quid. So, and it's virtually nothing to run. It's fantastic, but they're not that good to drive. So, yeah. See ya. Blimey, I need a marshal. Baz, what have you done? Oh, look at that. Oh, this is fantastic. This is just, I'm in heaven here. I'm in absolute heaven. But I'm in the wrong heaven. I need a marshal. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're a marshal here, are you?
Yeah.
Right. Slight problem. When I was coming through the gates, I've just come to see the cars. I've not come to display.
No.
But the guy told me just to carry.
Park in, then you carry along this road.
Right.
And you just keep going, and someone will tell you where the car park is.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Phew. Well, a bit of drama there. Is this a car park? Stables car park? Have you paid and displayed? Oh, classic car show. Oh, bugger. I always do that. I'm just after the car park.
Well, you shouldn't have come in that way to start.
I know, but they thought I was displaying, so they sent me straight on, and then I realised I was in the...
There's the car park there, sir.
Thank you. Well, that was a bit of a drama, but on to the show. So I'll cut some photos of the cars in, and perhaps a bit of video too, if you want to watch. And see you in the next video. Ta-da.
On virtually every panel.
On every panel.